Sorry about that. Good evening and welcome to Desi Desires Live and my ongoing series of pornography, fantasy versus reality. There's many issues related to the porn industry that are affecting the lives of Americans in our country every day, and I'm here to talk about them. Tonight I'll be discussing porn addiction, which has afflicted millions of Americans in our country today. A friend just sent me some new statistics tonight before this show, so I thought I'd start by sharing them. This is from an article at 5, that's the number 5, checkpoints.com. Every day, over 2.235 million searches occur on google.com for the term free porn. Think about that for a second. Over 2.2 million people daily type in free porn into one search engine. Just to clarify, this is one specific term out of thousands that can be used to search for pornography. This does not include any other searches such as porn movies, porn stars, porn videos, that type of thing. To put this into perspective, the author thought, well, what else do people do online? Their first thought was getting driving directions. Care to guess how driving directions compares to free porn? It doesn't really. Driving directions netted about 164,000 daily Google searches. Let's try again. How about free software? Nah, only 447 searches daily on that one. Okay, just for fun, how about a few more? Download MP3, that's getting closer, just shy of 1 million, still less than half. Weight loss, nope, you'd think that would be a good topic. 818,000 searches daily. With a little hesitation, they looked at marriage advice, knowing it wouldn't even be in the same league as free porn, but they were surprised by how there was really no comparison at all. The estimated numbers of searches daily for marriage advice on Google is only 2,334. Wow. So my topic about porn addiction shouldn't come as a surprise after hearing these numbers. What I have found when I mention porn addiction is most people either don't believe in it or they've never heard of it. This amazes me because there is so much information and research out there on the effects of long-term use of porn and masturbation. People usually laugh about it, saying they don't believe you can get addicted by looking at naked pictures and sex videos. This doesn't deter me, though. Instead, I take the opportunity to talk about what I've learned, which is what I want to share with all of you tonight. This show is geared toward the men that are watching porn, though women can become addicted to porn and sex just as easily. With women, though, their addictions usually stem from watching porn because they're trying to emulate porn stars to please a man. Men start watching porn at a very early age because they are told it's a normal guy thing to do. Everything I talk about tonight can relate to either sex, though I'll be addressing men through most of my commentary because they represent the majority of sex and porn addicts out there today. I've been asked if I hate men now that I've left the sex industries, and I can be pretty tough when it comes to talking about men and their porn. I hope by presenting this episode of porn addiction, you'll see that I'm actually trying to help men because I really do care about them. That is why I chose this subject, to hopefully save men from ruining their lives. First of all, men need to understand if they're addicted to porn, there is help out there to get your life back. Most men have no idea what happened to cause their problem with porn in the first place. They just know it's gotten out of control and is affecting their lives in very negative ways. I'm here to tell you that this is a very normal response from most men who have problems with porn and sex. One day you think it's just a harmless distraction and some curiosity, and the next day you can't get away from it and you start losing the things that you loved. Porn addiction causes many different events to happen in your life. You become more and more isolated. You don't date and you don't have relationships. You don't even go out anymore. You stay in your house all the time. And the shame and isolation can be unbearable at times. These are just a few of the ways your life is affected negatively by your use of porn. Let's start with what porn addiction really is. It's not just looking at a few porn photos or videos when you're bored. In fact, the occasional viewing of porn on its own is not addictive, which is why so many are confused about this whole topic. What you do with your viewing habits, though, is only a part of what happens. Most guys who look at porn begin to masturbate to it as well. So you look at your porn and you masturbate. How often you do this is where the problem really begins. I have talked to men who started out doing this occasionally, and then once addicted, they may watch porn and masturbate several times each day. I have even been told about a process called edging, where porn addicts will masturbate to the edge of orgasm several times a day so they don't actually come, and then they get the fix over and over and over again. Because we know that the average man can only come so many times in a day. Scientific evidence shows that our brains record and permanently store emotionally arousing images we see. Each time you look at and watch porn images, your brain is storing this information for future recall. Your brain does this with many types of images you see, not just porn images. But with porn, you add the activity of masturbation most of the time. We all know when we experience orgasm, certain chemicals are released in our brains. That is what brings about that great feeling and release you have at the end of a sexual session. It's also what makes most men fall asleep and start snoring shortly after having sex. So you're watching a porn video and you masturbate to orgasm, which releases chemicals in your brain. These chemicals, such as serotonins and other endorphins, give you a natural high. Many young people like taking the drug ecstasy because of its ability to boost levels of these natural chemicals that the brain releases during certain emotional events in our lives. Each time you masturbate to orgasm, these chemicals are released. You get that high, and your brain makes an imprint of the experience. The more you masturbate and orgasm to porn, the more imprints you create in your brain. So you're not really getting addicted to just a photo or a video by itself. You're getting addicted to the chemicals released over and over each time you stimulate yourself to orgasm and link it to a porn image. Sex addicts are different from porn addicts in that they may have actual sex with a person or multiple partners over and over and over again to get the same effect. What happens to anyone who is addicted to a drug? When you deny your brain the drug, you get withdrawal symptoms. Much the same way tobacco does to the brain, when you deny your brain the drug it wants, it will send triggers asking for more. I can relate to this because I smoke cigarettes. I smoked for 15 years, I quit for 11 years, and then started smoking again for about 10 years now. During the entire 11 years I didn't smoke, I would still occasionally get triggers that said, hey, let's smoke a cigarette. Times like after eating, driving in the car for long periods of time, stressful times, which is why I picked the habit up after my first divorce. So you're sitting around the house and you're on the computer. Your brain says, hey, let's look at some porn so you can masturbate and feed me drugs. You click on a site and you start looking around. You find something that stimulates you, and the next thing you know, you're giving your brain that fix and you feel better, right? As time goes by, this happens to you more and more. The next thing you know, you're spending several hours each day looking at porn, masturbating, and doing nothing else. This is happening to men everywhere. The problem is, by the time you realize that you have a problem, it's too late. You're addicted to the whole process, and you're trying to figure out what happened to your life. Here's where the porn industry's responsibility to the public comes in, and we can see their abuse against men. Yes, the viewers of porn are victims of abuse by the porn industry just as women are. You are being exploited by an industry so they can make billions of dollars. The porn industry has been fully aware of what is happening to the men out there watching their product and getting addicted. They don't care about you. They just want your money. Free porn on the internet is no different than the drug dealer who gives you free drugs to get you hooked and then starts charging you to get high. The porn industry puts free nude and sex photos on the internet to get you to look further. That's called teasers. They call them teasers in the industry.